And today I am very, very happy and pleased to present and to welcome Raquel Godoy. She is our second speaker in this Innovation Academy for Women of the Americas virtual coffees. Uh, Raquel studied theology at Universidad Tecnológica Nacional de Argentina, and she holds a diploma in public policy and a management certification from the Study Center of the same higher education house, the Universidad Tecnológica Nacional de Argentina. She also has a recognized teacher certification, Agile Achiever, Agile Explorer, Agile Advocate, University Ambassador, and Cognitive Practitioner, all these certifications from IBM. Raquel is one of the top coaches and sales advisors from the Global Sales School at IBM. In her job, she has supported, coached, and mentored new IBM sellers through the IBM Global Sales School. And today, she is going to speak about building your personal brand. So I am very, very happy to present you, Raquel. And yes, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so happy to be here to see some of the faces I met during my stay there in Querétaro, those wonderful days we spent together. So I'm very happy to be here. This session, I hope it will be like a time of reflection. It will be like trigger questions for you to think. I hope you have a pen and paper so you can take notes, although I'm going to share this material. I'm going to share it later with you so you can have some of the templates I will suggest you to use after this session. I want to share a presentation. Can I do that? Or we don't do that way using presentation, Adri?
Yes, you can share the screen in
One second.
pantalla.
Okay.
1 second, because Daniel needs to make you a co-host so you can share.
Okay.
Great.
You should be good to go.
Okay. Let me. Is the material we use. We have at IBM these business resource groups. We group together voluntarily to help each other. We have for LGBT people, people with disability, and also have this business resource group for women. And we build this kind of conversation. And I took this material from this group we have at IBM. So thank you, IBM, for this material I'm going to share with you. And this is part of a few sessions we have about unleashing our leadership potential. And this topic today is how to create our personal brand and deciding what kind of brand we want to have and what to do, how to use the power of our brand to the purpose of our lives, our dreams, our goals in our lives. So I am gonna try to do this fast so we can start our conversation, which is I think will be the most fun part of this. So who am I? I'm Raquel Godoy. I have that picture from Querétaro. I was so happy there with a smiling face, and I'm a mom. I'm a gospel singer. I love gospel singer. I love singing, and that's my family there. One of my best achievements in life is my family. So I know you are grouped together as this Academy Innovation for Women, but I hope this the way you are grouped, you work this way, because this is something, some of the rules we have at IBM within this business resource group. We respect each other, we have sensitivity to providing support to our colleagues, and we build this community, and everything we share there is confidential. So I hope we share the same way tonight. So Tom Peters, he was one of the, like many years ago, he started talking about personal brand. And I love this phrase from him that says, all of us need to understand the importance of branding. We are the CEOs of our own companies, which is me incorporated, Raquel Godoy. To be in business today, our most important job is to be the head marketer for the brand called you. So I think this is a very powerful definition of what is branding. We are responsible for our brand. And although maybe you are started working on your personal brand or you are not, that you have to think of the power of this uh, being this company you are. And although you are not aware of this, you project a brand. And your brand is what people say when you're not in the room. Like Raquel is a professional, Raquel is an IBM, or maybe you can recall my name because I always mention IBM. We're always projecting a brand of ourselves, but being aware of this and using the power of this on our favor and having a plan for this, that's what I wanted to talk about today and give you some tips on how to start planning this strategy to use the personal brand. So brands, what a brand tell you? We have like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Walt Disney. A brand, it's something that connects with you emotionally. It has its characteristics, its singularity, and it has a value proposal. For example, I love Disney. Because I'm a mom of young kids, because it communicates innocence, magic, and also the value proposal. It's their movies, their parks, for example, and maybe the experience I can share with my family. That's what Disney communicates to me, and may think also a brand can communicate good or bad things. For example, I love Coca-Cola, but when I go to my doctor, he says, don't drink Coca-Cola so much. So a brand can be a positive as a negative approach, depending on the person, right? So our personal brands work the same way as I was telling about Disney, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, IBM, Apple, Nike. The personal brand is the process that takes your skills, your abilities, your personality, those characteristics that make you unique, and make a package out of these things into a powerful identity that lifts you above the sea of anonymous faces and competitors. Why someone will choose you above other people? Why an employer will choose you among other candidates, for example. So what are the components of my brand? I hope you have your paper and your pen to write down, because we are going to start working on passions, your passion. What is these things or activities you love so much doing? Uniqueness, what is these characteristics that make you special or different? Your strength, what are your skills, your knowledge, your abilities? What are your weaknesses also? Because weaknesses are also opportunities for you to improve, to make a difference, to show yourself vulnerable also. And what is your value proposition? What is this thing that you can offer to others? What is your contribution to the world? Like, for example, in the example I gave you on Disney, is what is the value proposal for Disney to me? Is like, I love their movies, I like their magic, I like the experience I share with my family related to what is Disney value proposition. We don't have time for questions, right, Adri? I have to go till the end, and we have questions at the end, okay?
Yes, thank you, Raquel.
Okay. So to start thinking, I hope you start thinking with me, what makes you different? What value you can create for others? And if you're creating value to others, are you happy? Are you satisfied with your contribution? And if you have this dream, this goal for your life, are you sure that what you're doing on a daily basis is taking you to that direction? And what that has to do with your brand. And I invite you to think of ways to improve your brand, to make sure you are creating the value you want to create, not the value that is just, you're just creating, but the value you really want to create, putting some purpose on this. And here are a few tips for us to create our personal brand. What is your talent? List your, what is this ability, this you were born with. Talent is different than a skill. A skill is something you can learn, you can perfect, but the talent is this ability, like maybe you're very good drawing, you're very good speaking in public, you're very good giving advice, you are very good in math, you're very good explaining things, you're very good singing. What is your talent? That thing that you see that you can do it easily and you like that about you. And what's your passion? What's passion? Passion is a very powerful feeling. It's when you put more energy into something than is required to do it. Like you see other people just practicing what it's enough, but you go along, you walk the extra mile because it's something you love so much. That's your passion. And what is your target audience? You have this passion, these talents, your skills, your knowledge, your singularity, but what will you do with that? So you have to give that to the world. And who is your audience? Are they users, consumers? Maybe you have, if you are an entrepreneur, so you have consumers, or you're looking for a job, so your target audience will be your employer, the company. Maybe you have a project and you need a sponsor, so your target audience is, you're looking for a sponsor. So depending on the project, you have a different target audience. Maybe you're looking for a job, as I said, or you have your own project, you need funding. And depending on the target audience, you will have to customize your message. You have to build your message, maybe elevator pitch for each of one of the cases, like you can build your own mantra, or the idea you can communicate easily and you have very handy. If you're in a, like the elevator pitch, you're in a elevator and you have the sponsor you're looking for there, and so you have your elevator pitch very handy and you use it right there because that's your opportunity. Build your message and build it according to the audience you want, the target audience you want to achieve. Another suggestion is do your own SWOT analysis. Dedicate time to reflect, to think about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? what are the threats? Maybe COVID-19 is a threat, or maybe COVID-19 is an opportunity. Think of that and make a list, but don't do it alone. You can do it alone, you can start doing it, but ask for feedback. Maybe you can ask your parents, your coworkers, your friends, your colleagues. Ask about what do you think are my strengths? What do you think are my weaknesses? Ask for feedback. Feedback is a gift. Don't be afraid of feedback, because uh, it's something, it means that someone is thinking of you, it's observing you. So receive feedback and look for feedback, and also give feedback. That's another training, the way we can give and get feedback. That's maybe another conversation we can have on a different day. But when you build your own SWOT analysis, ask for feedback. Don't do it alone. I have this worksheet that I want to share with you later when we finish this session. So you can work on your personal brand. You can map what are your skills, your credentials, your passions, your interests, your strengths, your weaknesses. And you can also work on what's your brand vision. What do you want to be known for? I want to be a reference on engineering, on women in STEM, on leadership. What is you want to be known for? Your brand mission. What is this that you wanted to accomplish through this strategic plan? What is your brand message? What is the key message you want to communicate? And this uniqueness, which is your personality. What is this thing that makes you different, that you want to showcase? So brand equity. When you build your brand, you will know that your brand will have a value, already has a value, and that will be part of, that will make it different. And as soon as you get your visibility increasing, the value of your brand will increase too. And I want you to think what ways you can start of thinking to increase the impact of your brand. Brand equity, the value of a brand, is dynamic. It can decrease, it can increase. I don't know, maybe you're too young. I don't know if you're familiar with these two names. Oscar Pistorius was a South African sprinter, and he was kind of, it was an inspiring story. He won several medals and all, but his personal brand really decreased when he, I don't know, it's discussion around this, but he murdered his girlfriend. So his personal brand, from being such an inspiring athlete, became such a sad story around him. On the other hand, we have Angela Merkel, who was a former scientist, became the Chancellor of Germany. And personally, I admire her so much. I love the work she is doing with, around the COVID-19 in Germany. And maybe because she is a scientist, that's why she's so respected, and her people are following her direction. So good. I think that's a good example on a good personal brand. So besides building your personal brand, you need to build your digital eminence, and you can choose the platform you want to be in according to your interest. Maybe you choose Instagram. You're already in Instagram. You're already in LinkedIn. You're already in Twitter. You can use the platform to share there and use those platforms to build your digital eminence. some questions how to create your digital eminence. These activities will help your brand become more eminent. Some suggestions, if when you post something, always be your own community manager, respond to comments, share your knowledge, be generous with what you know, and share that. That's a way to be recognized for your skills and abilities too. So some questions for you to think, what you can do to improve your brand on sites we already have a presence. Besides those platforms, what other sites you can think you can get on? Think of ways what you can do to differentiate you from others. And please check if the brand you're projecting, the image you're projecting, a view in these platforms are according to what you wanted to reflect, to showcase. So I hope that after this session, you can have some activities like Google yourself and see what you find. And if you agree that what you find when you Google yourself is what you want to be found for, and again, do not do it alone, do it with someone else, try to conversate with someone who is in the same place as you that wanted to improve their personal brand digitally, so you can help each other and discuss, and you can hear other opinions, or show if you're in LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile and tell, do you think this is a good approach for the story I want to tell about me, or about the job I'm doing, about the work I do? Continue to scan the internet and other media to make sure the digital presence matches your intent. I want to also share with you another worksheet we have for you to do this research on you. You can use this template. I can share with you. If you can use it, if it works for you, I will be happy to provide that for you. So last thoughts on this reflection I want to share with you. What have you done so far? I want to hear your voices after this. So questions you have about branding, what have you done so far to develop your branding, to make it known? And if you already have started doing this, what else you can do to foster your digital eminence? Here, many of you, I do have you in LinkedIn. I think I have some of you in Facebook, but please add me if you have questions. If there's any way I can help you, I will be very happy to do so. So thank you, girls. Let me stop sharing so we can start the conversation.
Thank you very, very much, Raquel, for this great topic. And I have a question from Emma Torres that says, can I have more than one personal brand?
I think you have one personal brand with different approaches, like Raquel Godoy, the singer, but I do believe in integrity, you being only one person. Raquel Godoy, the professional, but also the mom. But what works best for you, if you need to separate because you really need to do these different profiles to do a better strategy, I think that can work too. Maybe the other girls have other opinions or experiences. I don't know.
Okay, and I think you already speak about this. They ask if your brand evolves with you.
Yes.
When you need to reinvent yourself and look for other opportunities, is your brand something that you can be a problem to adapt?
No, the brand is something that has to serve you. Your strategy on building a personal brand has to be at your service in your project. It will evolve, it will change if you evolve, and it will take the direction you want to take, because it's this powerful identity you can take, and you can take advantage of to help you in your dreams and your goals in life.
Yes, and you also speak about this. This is a question for the media. I am worried that the brand seems as equal to likes in a social media. Not everything is social media, but
So a brand, it's equal to the amount of likes.
yes.
To measure your brand.
What do you think?
No, there are other ways. It's a KPI. It's a way to measure, but it's not the only way. People talking about you. If you have a hashtag, if you want to start a conversation, for example, in Twitter, you have other ways to measure your success, and how do you achieve your goals when you use a platform. And another thing is, it's not easy to start building your digital eminence. Like, you're not going to start your Twitter account and day 2 you will have hundreds of followers. You have to check and follow the interest you have according to your interest, and be part of the conversation you want to be part of. You cannot measure your success by counting your followers. You need to be something that matches your interest, and be to honor your true you. And also, like in LinkedIn, you cannot measure the likes on a publication or article you wrote, because you need to try again, and maybe you can start this habit of publishing an article once a week or by every 2 weeks, and be disciplined and on doing that. It's not as linear, like I'll do this, likes represents success, or followers will represent success. Not necessarily.
Yes, I agree with you. And we have another question here. Can you say brand is the same of reputation?
Yes. It's reputation is part of a brand. Brand is also a value proposition, emotional connection with someone else. I think reputation is something static. It's Raquel is this. That's my reputation, but a brand is dynamic, and it involves also an action plan, a call to action to my target audience.
Okay, and we have a question from Julie Campos, and I would like to that Julie ask directly, so we can listen to them also.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to see you again, Raquel.
Hi, nice to see you, Julie.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, I mean, I think it goes somewhere along the same lines as Emma's question about like, I guess like, is your brand something that you must follow and represent everywhere? But I guess you sort of answered that already, because I mean, you know, you're not the same person that you are at home than when you are at work or when you're in any other sort of environment. So I guess you should maintain the integrity to whatever it is that who you are, but not like you don't have to be the same person everywhere.
Yes. Yes. For example, when I'm my job, my home is I can cry easily after anything. I'm very emotional. I try to be different at my job because that will make all of my colleagues uncomfortable with to be with me.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think that being vulnerable, and this is I started thinking when I was getting older, that being myself at every place with my integrity, my whole me, uh, that's in that's something that build trust, and trust is something that I consider very powerful in a person and in a personal brand.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Girls, do you have another question? I could invite you to open your microphone. I have a question by my own.
Okay. Okay.
I think your brand is composed of many, many things, as you already mentioned. But for you, what is the most important, or what is your prioritization on this? I mean, for me, would be the passion, because it's something that it's going to last. Maybe the professional, it can change a little, or the others, it can change. But I think for me, could be the passion. And for you, what it could be?
For me, it would be the trust, like transparency. What you see is what you get, and that you can, and maybe passion, like for you to be easy to see through me, to see my heart very easily, and that's something I value the most. I think that trust.
Okay.
I have a question
Okay.
for the girls that are starting their career, no, their professional path in science and technology, and they need to specifically start building their brands not only as women, because little but they're very young and little by little they'll start doing that, but in the field of that it's so competitive that so little women, no, there's more now, but there's still a lot of space for women to join science and technology. How can you build a powerful brand without being losing their women's side, no, instead of competing in a very dominated field by men, how can they build that personal brand in
Not based on their gender, but other skills.
the professional side of a researcher in science and technology?
Valerie, parece que se cortó un poco. Can you repeat your question?
If I got it all right, was a very good question. How to build your personal brand for the girls, not falling in common places like I'm a woman in science. Like, how do you build your brand? But I think it was something else in the question. But just that I think was very interesting. I don't know if I'm explaining myself. But it was a question for the girls, I think, so the girls can start talking.
Girls, who wants to participate?
Ya, ¿me escuchan?
Now we can.
Yes.
Okay. My point was that how do you start building for the girls, no? Like a tip on how can they build their brand as women in science and technology, coming into the field and building a solid professional brand in the science and technology field without, I suppose they will take care of their own personal brand as women in other fields, but in the science and technology and as a professional, what are the minimum requirements that they need to pay attention to while not losing themselves to the race of trying to be someone else in that field? Because it's a very competitive field. There's a lot of space for women, but it's basically defined by men. So they need to start opening that path, no? Especially in Latin America.
I think I have a comment on that. So, I mean, I guess sometimes it's like sort of, it's like a tricky thing, right? Because you don't really want it. Okay, like me going into like a field, I don't really just want to stand out because I'm a woman. Like, I mean, I'm going to anyways, just because, like, you know, I look different than everyone else. But I mean, besides that, like, I guess I would prefer to put emphasis on just like my personal characteristics other than, you know, sort of, I guess, like putting emphasis on the fact that I'm a woman. So, like, I guess for me, it's just sort of just being you and trying not to let your, like, I don't know, I would much rather just like stand out for being me than to stand out because I'm a woman. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand, but I think that it's inevitable now that they start talking about quotas and all, and how many women are on a lab, and how many women are on your team, and is your team inclusive, no? And then, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do, is start building your own brand as a professional. Of course, it's gonna be by your research and your whatever you are able to, the publications that you do and your peer reviews and etc. But little by little, besides what you can bring to the table in science and technology and innovation, there still needs to be some strategy to build your brand as a professional woman in science and technology. And I think we should not say, no, I don't want to be looked at because I'm a woman. It's been so hard to be given a space as a woman that how can you actually take that opportunity, being a woman, and make something out of it without thinking, no, don't look at me because I'm a woman. That's what I mean.
I think I agree what Julie said.
Was I clear?
Yes, but maybe we can like create a sentence that put a key or take advantage of being a woman, like including in the brand something like fighting for equal space or fighting for I don't know, some sentence that we can include in that and take advantage of being a woman, but not like saying that feel powerless because I am on a male space or something like that. Well, I'm just thinking about how can we figure it out with this, but I prefer to focus on my personality and my all that defines me.
Yeah, I guess because like I agree with, okay, so I guess like in a professional space, I'd probably since I will be like a woman in like this profession, I'd like to be looked at by other people that feel like being a woman is something that is going to deter them from reaching their goals. But I guess like in a professional setting is where I think, I don't know if it's maybe just like the whole stress of like, maybe if people pay too much attention to me being a woman, I'll start feeling uncomfortable or something. I don't know if it's because of that maybe I would prefer to focus on like just my abilities and my personality rather than people being like, you know, pointing me out simply because I am a woman. But I mean, but I understand that, I mean, sort of like, instead of setting it aside, it's better to sort of think about it more as like another reason to why it's admirable that we've made it this far or something. So, yeah.
I have an opinion with this. For example, I think like Valerie wants to say is like if we want to be like an influential woman, and it's a little bit different, and for have like a personal brand. For example, there are many women in Instagram that works in technology and science and have like an account for increase followers and also inspire more girls in science and promote these fields. But even they have like a nickname, they don't have their real name, but I think it's different that in the personal branding, because personal branding is more like who are you and who are you work, what things that you inspire or something else. And like influential for a word that you say I'm a woman in science, it's too different that say that I'm a professional in science and I have an account and I want to do something different, no? And in this case, I have a question or like a comment for Raquel, and because I started creating my digital M&Ms a few months ago, do you suggest like having a color palette as a brand, like we have like an institutional accounts, for example, all of my Gmails, all of my LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter accounts have the same nickname. And when you show or search in Google my nickname, all of the accounts about me, and you can find on Google. But I'm like I don't know if I have to use like a palette color and a specific brands like in posts or something like that.
Yes, in this course that I was sharing with you, it takes like 2 hours, not 15 minutes. So what I share with you, there's a portion of making your own logo, what colors you feel more like that will represent you. But I think each platform has its own style, right? If you're LinkedIn, your pictures, your profile would be one way. And if you're in Instagram, the same Addy will have a different approach, more like artistic maybe, or if it's in Facebook, will be also more like your daily image or your personal approach. Personal, I mean, like for me, I give my example in LinkedIn, I am very consultant style. In Facebook, I'm more of a mom style. Although in Facebook and LinkedIn, I share sometimes same information, but it depends on the platform you're using. And you can, of course, if you can take seriously your personal brand and do it really like a brand, You can think of a logo and colors and nickname, and you can dedicate time to really build that personal brand for yourself, Patty, for sure. I don't know if I answer your question.
Thank you very much, Raquel, for all your comments. Girls, do you have any more questions or comments that you want to express?
Yo quisiera,
Yes.
sorry, vas, Emma, vas.
Raquel, can you share with us your personal brand?
What is my personal brand?
Yes, please.
Well, I have my mantra that it says that I build bridges from love. In a world with everyone just hates for nothing, I think that my mission is love for nothing. Like right now, I want to hug you all. I want to see Perla's face, for example. I want to be with you there, and I don't have problems. So love will be my word for my personal brand. If there's any way I can show love to build bridges among, because now everything is divided in my country, at least you have left, right, and haters. So people building bridges is that what our world needs. So I want to be one of them. That's my brand. Hi, Perla, there you are.
Valerie, do you want to say something?
Sí, I think this is really interesting, and I hope that all of the girls, because we have talked about LinkedIn before, we have a group, you're part of that group. We haven't been very active on that group. I basically post some articles, but I think little by little, all of the girls that belong to this network need to be a little bit more proactive in their social media, especially your professional. I'm sure you're very active in your personal life, and you must have a lot of followers in your Instagram and things like that. But what Adi was saying, I found it really, really interesting, because I used to have a Facebook that was work and a personal Facebook, no? Complicated to be between both. And then now that you're saying that, I think I need to have the Instagram for UNM that I'm gonna share with you, so you can follow me, because I don't have any followers there, and I still don't understand really well how to work around Instagram. But I think we should try all, and the girls that are not right now, but we should let them know that we should set ourselves like an objective of saying, okay, from now until, let's say, September, we give ourselves a month and a half or 2 months. Everybody has to have a more active profile in LinkedIn and a more active profile on Instagram. Maybe Adi can later on give us some tips on how to create a professional Instagram thing, because that is a way in which we're gonna be able to help each other build our skills, no? Aside of the virtual cafes that are really interesting, but I think this is very positive, and we can set us as a group a clear objective of saying, okay, I don't know, someone of you just volunteers to review our, let's say, the LinkedIn, and we can track who was more active and who was less active and who needs a little bit of work on their profile, and help each other, because we're not that many, we're only 50 something, so we can work. When this is gonna grow, it'll be impossible. It's a huge network, but now that we're still a little club of very little, no, we're not that many, we can help each other, and we can help each other grow that personal and that digital eminence that you were talking about, with mutual help.
Valerie, you have my commitment on leveraging like the profile in LinkedIn for the Academy Innovation for Women, the Innovation Academy for Women. I saw that the profile today and it was only you talking there, and I thought that's unfair. I'm gonna start also leveraging that profile. So you count on me. You can follow me up on 2 months what I have done. I promise I will do something.
I think that we need to put ourselves some targets, because that way is how we're going to get tracking. O sea, we need to commit to say, okay, we're all going to work on this. We're all going to share. And if you see that someone's photo is not the best, or Adi, I can see that she's really active because she has posted a lot of things in the group. She can give us some pointers. She can help us so we can help each other and advance as a group and as women, and to position ourselves with all the tips that you gave us.
Yes, I totally agree, Valerie.
So I hope that all the participants are on board, and at least out of these, not all cafes will have homework, but at least this one can have a very specific task to be completed, and to like a real takeaway, no? Thank you very much, Raquel, for being here and for your time. And for
thank you.
so elegant, because I think it's fantastic to see someone that actually gets all elegant for a cafe.
Yes, I put all this makeup just for you girls.
Yes, thank you very much, Raquel. I love the mantra on making bridges of love. I totally like and I totally agree with you. And Adi, yes, please share with us all the tips that you have. You're very, very active. And girls, if you are here, it's because of something big is going to happen. So let's make noise. Let's share with all the girls and women that you have on your social networks, all the sparks and all that you have, all the intelligence, the bright, that love, the passion, the abilities that you have. So it was a really, really nice conversation, Raquel. Thank you very much. I send you many, many hugs, virtual hugs. And Danielle, I don't know if you want to add something.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for attending our virtual cafe. I know that I have not had the chance to work with many of our young leaders who joined us today, but this is a wonderful way to get to know you. And I want to affirm the University of New Mexico's continued support of this program as you come back into a space thinking about what your future aspirations will be. I'm really excited about this idea of working together to get those LinkedIn profiles really, really ready for professional review. And I think that if we can accomplish that, I think there are ways that we can help network the women in this program. So I think that this is an exercise that's really worthwhile, and I'm really just excited for all of the support we have coming from different places. And I'd like to thank Raquel for joining us and giving a presentation and lending us your time. You're a fantastic speaker. I really enjoyed your slides, and so I just want to give you that heartfelt thank you as well. And of course, a thank you to Adriana and our colleagues in Querétaro, and of course Valerie, and wishing everyone a good weekend.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Chicas, cuídense mucho.